Hello, VCFA. My name is RamonTajeda, and I'm super excited to be joining you all as a visiting faculty this spring. I am a teacher, designer, human being, and I teach at RISD in the graphic design program where I'm an assistant professor. Before we get going, I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the indigenous peoples of this American continent whose unceded lands we inhabit. I think it's important that we must reflect and think intentionally and honestly how we honor and acknowledge them in our work as designers and, more importantly, as people in our communities. I also wanted to mention a little bit of where my process is right now as a designer. All the stuff that I'm trying to do right now as a designer is really thinking about excavating and digging through lineages, thinking towards plurality, thinking about genuine collaborations, thinking about my parents, and really taking joy in all of this work and manifesting joy. A lot of this sort of started with the Decolonizing Design Reader. What you're seeing here is multiple screenshots of the process of developing that or putting that together, which literally started in a notes document on my phone. It is now a Google Doc on the upper left-hand corner, and there's a few copies of the sort of limited printed edition that I did, but its purest manifestation was the Google Doc that keeps growing and it's alive, and it's really a document that asks you to dig through and find things that are important for you to make the work you want to make. For me, as a BIPOC designer, it was incredibly important to think about who I had not engaged with in my education that can give me a new way of looking at work, of making work, of thinking through making work in the world today. Just a quick note on decolonizing, because it's a term that comes up. It is a term that can mean many things to many people. For me, it is about physical visibility, acknowledgement, a diversity of lineages, thinking about our communities, thinking about mom, dad, our neighbors, our chosen families, acknowledging not knowing and making the periphery the center. With that in mind, some projects. So this is from Notes on Being a Dominican York, which is an ongoing project. I will never finish this project, and it's really me digging through and trying to understand and get into the heart of my Dominican heritage. I was born in the Dominican Republic. I came to the United States when I was very young, to New York, and I'm interested in digging through all of that and what does that mean. It's manifested itself in flyers, posters, vinyls, wallpapers, and a lot of investigating typography and specific words that are very colloquial to the Dominican culture. An important part of my practice is what I call genuine collaborations, and this is a collaboration, actually there's images here for two collaborations with Salas Monroe and Polymode and a bunch of other amazing friends who are designers and teachers. Salas and I have been teaching at Otis in LA for several years. We've done several workshops. Throwing the Bauhaus under the bus is what the first iteration was called. And Incomplete Latinx Stories of Diseño Gráfico was a big collaboration between many people, many thinkers, teachers, amazing friends. We're all interested in sort of elevating and thinking through the design history of Latin America and how we bring that forth and elevate it. Another form of genuine collaboration is designing, where, so this is a book that I designed for the artist Helena Metaferia, and I really was interested in this, in having a genuine dialogue with her as I was designing the book, including the fact that I actually went to her studio with the files and printed versions of the book. And we actually put the design through her sort of creative process in the studio, but a lot of dialogue, which is, I think, critically important to make any successful work these days. Here's some more shots from the interior. And as the amazing Celia Cruz, who you're seeing in the back there, is waving us a goodbye for now in this version. My parents are also there because I put them in there, and they're saying hello. So as Celia Cruz says, azúcar.